So in this session, we have something to tell you about where we're going, where we've been, where we're going, and what we want to achieve with the Gender Summit. And since the Gender Summit would not have happened without all of you, then obviously we want to involve you in this conversation and also to get your ideas. And one thing that the Gender Summit really came about because a science leaders panel met together, looked at the evidence, people who have never been involved in the gender discourse in science before. And the question they had to answer is, did it matter to science that women were not represented in science and were overlooked in research? And they had the benefit of a huge amount of empirical evidence because they were hard scientists, so they needed that. But they also had access to the best gender experts and gender scholars that we could find in the world, including Londa Schebinger, but there were a few others as well, very persuasive individuals. And the question that they had to answer is, did it matter or did it not matter to science? And what they actually had to decide after 3 months of discussion is that indeed it mattered to science. It mattered to the quality of science, and it mattered to the quality of the outcomes for women and men and society. And then they wrote to the European Commission and recommended that the experience that they just went to, the exposure that they had to the evidence, that other people have to be part of the same experience. And that was the idea of the Gender Summit. And hence it's an ongoing process and it's an ongoing effort, and it's an effort that is based on evidence and consensus. So we all get together, we look at the evidence, we agree what the evidence means, what are the gaps, and what actions need to be taken. So one of the recommendations that the science leaders panel gave is that leaders have to become agents of change. But so at this table we have those leaders. Yes, they are agents of change. They are the shakers and the movers in the gender and science landscape. And so it will be very interesting that we should listen to them and build up stronger collaborative networks with them and with you in the audience as well. Okay. So the first person is Wanda Ward, with whom I came for the previous European Gender Summits. And one day I sent her an email message and I said, how about introducing Gender Summit to USA, because most of our evidence comes from USA. And she said, well, that's an intriguing idea, Elizabeth. And guess what? Next year we had a Gender Summit in North America. So she will tell you what went, well, not so much what went at the time, but what the outcome came, if from the point of view what we think the Gender Summit should now, how it should evolve.